Welcome back to the show. You're watching West Kentucky Stars Basketball Weekly. As always, I'm here with head coach Daniel Potts, and I'm assistant coach Josh Kimbler. Coach, we had 3 games, Bethel at home, Dyersburg State at home, and then last night, we didn't get into it until very, very late last night, so excuse any minor issues here. We had a game at Wabash. 3 games right there, not exactly back-to-back, but pretty close to it. Are we the same team that we were before the Bethel game?
Not at all. Not at all. You know, this team is starting to come together. They're starting to believe and trust our system, and we're seeing a lot of guys step up. Even I know Will Best has been one that's really played well for us, and even Kevin Welch has been one of those that they're doing the things that we ask of them to do. You know, swinging the ball from left to right. And things of that nature. Donald Overstreet has really stepped up. I believe he was in double figures all 3 games that we played. So offensively, it's starting to click for him, you know. And the game's starting to slow down a little bit for our guys, and we're doing what we want to do in our game plan now. I know we got a win at Bethel and 2 losses at home against Dyersburg and a loss against Wabash, but you can see the pieces coming together. You can see the guys, you know, they're caring about each other. They're becoming better teammates, and that's one of my biggest things I hit. And it's going to be exciting to see where we're going to be in the next probably 2 weeks or 3 weeks or so.
Right. Even the bench, regardless of who was in the game. You've seen our bench and our like you talk about being great teammates. You've seen that come along just by being there at the game, and people are chanting.
Right.
People are in the game. We're not hanging our head at times like we have before.
Even on timeouts, you see people just shooting off that bench to go greet their teammates out on the floor, and that's what we got to have to be successful.
Coach, and I hope we can continue to have more of that throughout the season. Whenever we come back, we're going to go ahead and get into our first game against Bethel. You're watching West Kentucky Stars Basketball Weekly. Welcome back to the show. At this time, we're going to go ahead and get into our highlights against Bethel University.
Yeah, this was our first home game of the season. We had a pink out, and it was a great turnout. We probably had around in between 200 and 300 people in the stands. We appreciate the support. Keep coming out. Be right there, just being around the ball right there and using his big body right there to score. We had a decent first half here. I think we were up by about around 19 or so at the half. We're still wanting them to get that bulldog mentality of when you're being up, you know, 10, be up 20. If you're up 20, be up 30, and things of that nature. A little ball fake. That's what we want right there from B. Straight driving lines to the rim.
Coach, I think they're going to see the difference. People watching are going to see the difference between the team that's playing right now and the team that's going to play.
Oh, yeah.
Two games, 2 highlights down the road here.
Right. He's getting more confident, Coach. He's getting more confident. You know, his game used to be settling for that 3, and now he's becoming more confident off the bounce right there.
Yeah.
Peyton right there battling. Look at our spacing right there. We need to get a little bit more space right there with Nooney and Peyton. We still got to do a better job. This is a great pass right here by Tark. Good ball fake. E-Man's gonna keep getting better, ain't he, Coach?
He's gonna be a good one for us.
He's you know, obviously definitely a 2-year player. We expect great things even out of this year, but next year is gonna be a great year for him.
It's gonna be tough, and he wants to put in the work.
Yeah, he does. And what a great young man too.
Even with this, I mean, you hear coaches talk all the time. It's a good pull-up by Nooney right there. You hear coaches talk all the time about, you know, they get in games that they're supposed to win, and they slack during certain parts of the game. You know, I think we fell victim to that a little bit.
I do
you
too.
know, playing the level of our competition. I mean, just simple things is watching our posts work in this game versus,
Right.
like I say, in a couple highlights coming up, you'll see against Wabash, playing against guys like that. I mean, we just weren't there this game, and I think, like I say, I think that we've grown up a lot as a team over these last 3 games, and we know what it takes. And we used to talk about trust all the time. All the time. The trust is actually starting to come along.
Right.
Unless we get really surprised at practice today.
Right.
So I mean,
we won't let that happen.
Right. So hopefully, I mean, we're, like I say, we're coming along, and they're doing the things we ask, and everybody's kind of starting to believe. So.
Yeah, we're making the extra pass, so to speak.
Right.
Now, we're playing unselfish. That's what Tarkus can do. I'm still waiting for Tarkus to have that big game for us, where he just comes out and attacks the basket, and them 3 start to fall, and him getting more physicality on the boards, and things like that. And he'll get better. He'll get better.
Nooney had his best shooting day of his entire life this game, didn't he, Coach?
He sure did. He played very confident.
Kevin's came a long way in the last couple weeks.
He sure has. He's one of those that we keep bringing that trust factor up, and he's trusting our system and trusting what we're doing, and he's trusting his own abilities now.
Right.
Get the ball in the middle right there.
The ball never
Easy
hit the
bucket.
ground. That's a good basketball play.
Tell you what, Don on the ball is hellacious, ain't he?
Yeah.
That guy, he
Never gets tired.
He never gets tired.
Blake's gotten a lot better, I think, letting the. Of course, we fired it up a lot here, and I'm sure he hits this one, because he's a good shooter. But letting all, we talk to him all the time. Don't shoot quick shots. Let the offense come to you. It's gonna, you swing the ball around a couple of times, and he's gonna be open.
Right. It's a good take. Way to go find his chest right there, Don. Another thing about Blake, he had a pretty good game. He had 12 points and 16 boards.
Yeah.
16 boards. But he was 3 for 15 on the field right there. When things aren't maybe falling down for him,
Blake again.
he needs to start attacking that basket or do something else besides jacking that thing up right there. And we're confident in him shooting that ball too. I mean, we are. But he's just kind of got to pick his poison, so to speak.
Right.
And when it's not falling, reverse that ball around, and maybe you can get a better shot.
Right. Games such as last night, we talked about great shots are going to help us control the tempo of the game. And I think he did well.
I think
he did well.
I do too. Running our offense right here, swinging the ball
There's
around.
another one right there, Coach. It's come a long way. Number 11,
Yes,
Will Best.
Yes, he has. Way to get on the board there, Zane. Staying active. That was a good shot. But we ran our offense. We swung the ball around. Looked about 7 or 8 passes. Don got a wide open shot on the elbow, and it just didn't fall. That's great basketball. We was up by 22 at half here. They played a little bit of a 2-3 zone right here, and kind of got us stalled. But we haven't really worked on the 2-3 zone. That's the last thing I'm worried about. We got 2. We got good enough shooters and things like that. When anybody zones us, we'll be ready next time. That's
a good-looking perimeter right there. Don, Chase Clark, Ben.
Yeah, and then putting Blake in the middle. We still got in that middle right there, and we talked about it, I believe, during this game. Whoever's in that middle right there has got to turn and face up and see the floor right there instead of just, back to the basket. Be a scoring threat. Chase Clark's finally getting that confidence. He got some confidence in him last night and things like that. He's going to keep getting better and better. Dribbling that ball a little high right there. See, right there was Blake. Even he hits that shot, but it was contested. It was contested. We want him to work that ball around. Let's run our offense a little bit and take a wide open 3 because we can get that.
In rhythm.
Look at that right there. That's good stuff from E-Man right there. And actually, a good pass from Nooney. Bounce pass. He goes and finds his chest. 2 feet, 2 hands. Everything we teach right there. He's going to get more consistent with the more reps and the more experience he gets there in games. Zane taking charge right there, sacrificing his body for his teammates. Good unselfish play right there, guys. Now, there's one thing I am noticing, and we kind of get it in the Dyersburg game. When we do score, we have to sprint back on defense. It's not a jog back. We got to sprint back on defense right there and play the next play.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't look pretty. It's not pretty, Coach, whenever you sprint back after you score. You know.
And during this ball game right here, it got pretty close. There was a 6-point turnaround. We were up about 18, and they had 4 free throws in a row, and then they missed on that 4th attempt, and they got their own rebound and kicked it for a 3, and it went in. So it made it a ball game out of it, and we wound up getting the W right here. It was a rough one. It was an ugly win, but it was a win. You know? And so I'm proud of our boys sticking together and getting this W.
Right. Whenever we come back, we're going to go ahead and get into our second highlight at home against Dyersburg State in a close one. You're watching West Kentucky Stars Basketball Weekly.
There you go.
As we progress in the show, we're going to go ahead and get straight into our highlights at home against Dyersburg State.
Peyton starts us off with a quick 2 points right there. We still, in this first half, we were up by 4 at the half. It's a good high-low right there.
Yeah, I'd still like to see him work him up.
I agree.
He kind of let off of him a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, Jay Lee's one of the most physical players on the court. I don't care who we're up against when he wants to be.
I agree. Yeah, he's a physical specimen, like you said, when he wants to be.
Right.
I'll tell you one thing Jay Lee's done a lot better probably the last week and a half. In practices, he's been a lot more coachable.
Right.
And that's resulting into him having a great effect for our team. He's really, I remember making a comment on one of the coaches' shows that he kind of needed to shut that trap a little bit more and start playing. And, I don't know if he watched this show and saw that, but he has, and he's done a great job for us.
We're a lot better when he's like that.
I agree.
Because everybody else gets more focused.
Yeah. And Jay Lee, he's one that brings us a lot of energy. There's a good unselfish pass right there from Jay Lee to Billy for the finish right there.
He jumps the ball right there, Billy.
Yeah. I think Billy winds up getting a steal right here.
Same thing with Will Best.
That's what 1-3, that's what he presents right there. When he comes in, we know exactly what we're getting out of Billy's speed. We're going to get hard-nosed defense. Here again right here, and he gets him to make a turnover. Over and back right there because of pressure D. Good block. Still want Don getting.
Gosh.
Still want Don going, just going up there and ripping that rim off.
And that's the difference between a first-year guy and probably, hopefully with Don, a second-year guy.
Right.
Next year it's going to be exciting to see him in transition.
Don had a great game. Look at that low. He got the initial right there, Coach. That's what we always talk about with our bigs. Getting low right there, getting the initial. Ain't nobody going to stop E-Man right there.
Don't even have to make a move at that point.
Just go score the thing. About Don really came alive for us in this game. He had 25 points, and I believe he had around 6 or 7 boards as well. There's another one that's playing really good for us, Ben Durdoy. He's played really well for us. He's another one of those guys that we kind of talk about as far as, Jay Lee being a physical specimen.
Yeah.
B, that's what he kind of brings to us, that physicality. But the kid can also handle the ball and shoot the ball too.
Mm-hmm.
And at halftime, we made a few adjustments as far as they were getting a lot of drives, a lot of middle drives and things like that. And we wanted to make sure we adjusted the second half right there. And we kind of came out flat. I don't know what in the world happened, but we came out flat in the second half. And I believe Dyersburg jumped on us on 12-0 run, 14-0 run. And, of course, at this point, they were up by about 10 or so. And B just using that body. We're still in the press right there. We're still kind of running away from the middle guy right there. Nobody in the middle is really wanting the ball.
Right.
But we'll get them there. We'll get them there.
It goes back to playing. You played, and Dyersburg State's not a bad basketball team. Right. I'm not saying that at all, but it kind of goes back to you play against your level of competition. I mean, this is a completely different team, other than probably the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, than what you're going to see against who played against Wabash.
Right.
I mean, just the aggressiveness and the wanting the ball and the physicality down low. I mean, it's just if we did that all the time, I mean, it would be it'd be fun to watch.
Yes,
I'll put it that way.
And one thing that really hurt us this game is a great move by Jay. Look, we can run back on defense even right there. We were 16 for 30 on the free throw line. You ain't going to many ball games going 16 for 30 against good competition. Don follows a shot right here. It's an easy
Still, if you notice, Don, his lower half of the body, whenever he gets twisted and it's not balanced, is the only time he misses.
Right.
I mean, I can't remember the last time I seen Don go up, balanced, with his lower half of the body and miss the shot. I mean, he is a great shooter.
Yes, he is. You can tell he's been in the gym on that shooting gun, working on that shot of his.
Nooney with a little Cody Schultz flash.
Yeah, he did a little dipsy do. We don't want to see that too much out of him, but
I'm glad he made that pass.
He better succeed that pass
Right.
if he does it. Nooney played well this ball game, Coach. Number 4 right there, he really played well for us. And he was one of the main reasons why we were in this game. He took care of the ball. He made sound decisions. 2 feet, 2 hands, and everything that he did. And I was proud of him. Jay Lee had 15 boards this game. He was a man on the boards. That's what we're wanting to see out of Don right there. Attacking it with authority, using his athleticism to finish strong at the rim. Look at that focus.
And
we had 2 guys ready to
he
rebound.
Got slapped in the face and one. Like he told him about it there too.
Playing with a little passion right there. And if you know Don, he's not that type. You hardly hear 2 words out of him in practice.
There he is.
Don just playing confident this game. We're gonna need that out of Mr. Overstreet. Kev getting some position right there. And making the extra pass. Another extra pass. Finding our shooter right there who was hot. And there you go. We were down by 5, I believe, at that point in time. I think it was 60.
Jay Lee's the one that made the extra pass right there. That does not happen 2 weeks ago.
Right.
I mean, that was an immediate swing.
We had to have this charge. And it comes to that trust factor, Coach, that we've been telling them about. Jay Lee's starting to trust his teammates' abilities.
Yeah. That's a tough shot.
Yeah.
Really tough shot.
I think we cut it within 3 with about I don't know, around 2 minutes or so. Yeah, that was just a good move. We'll make
Kevin was there a little late. He tried to take I wish he would have stepped out more and just had high hands right there. That guy probably doesn't make that shot.
Yeah, I will say 23.
Right here. Yeah, he should have had his hands up.
Had some great moves and things like that. And Kev should have just, he could have been there a little quicker. We tried to hit him outside the paint area there. I showed that play because it was It was a tough play to watch. They went up by 5 with however many seconds right there. Nooney gets fouled right here. He hits both of them.
Yeah.
He hits both of them. He went 16 for 30, but we needed these, and you know, he came through in the clutch right here for us. So that puts us down 3. So we had to make a big defensive play right here. Great find by Mooney right there.
Go up 1 right here.
Go up 1. 11 seconds to go in the ball game. We had, after Nooney hit those few free throws, we got to stop, and he actually stole the ball and got a layup.
Yeah.
And cut it within 1, and then we got that right there. It's just heartbreaking.
That's a tough shot.
Just a little heartbreaking right there. This is our chance to try to win the ball game, and you know, the last 7 minutes, Coach, and you can probably elaborate on this too.
Oh, gotta show it again.
Can elaborate on it too. The last 7 minutes, you know, we started seeing a team come together. That last 7 minutes, like we said earlier, guys were off the bench hyped. Guys were getting, you know, pumped up. Guys were getting pumped up, and I know you say it in practice. Guys were getting pumped up on rebounds.
Right.
And
right.
You know, the little things that we stress in practice, guys were getting fired up about and telling each other, "Good job."
Yeah. And
you know, we're going to keep getting better and better. And you know, when we play this team, I believe we play on November 29th at a Three Rivers tournament. You know, I think we'll be confident in our own abilities. We'll have that trust factor and experience a little bit more,
right.
And we'll be ready for them in the second game.
Definitely not going to be the same team they played before.
Correct.
Whenever we come back, we're going to go ahead and finish up our highlights against Wabash Community College. You're watching West Kentucky Stars Basketball Weekly. Finishing up our highlights last night at Wabash Valley.
And Coach, how big was this team?
Coach, I was even telling the players, you know, you've never, and some of the high school guys, you know, Peyton Puckett in particular, you know, him playing against some really good talent in high school. I said, you know, you've never played against guys like you're going to play against tonight. And I think he thought I was kidding until about the 3rd play.
This way we started the game off here. We ran our offense. I believe I counted maybe 9 passes right there. Got a pretty good shot from B right there. We came out in our new uniforms right there, our new away uniforms.
I was going to say, that is us.
And they're nice, very nice.
Coach, they jumped out pretty good. I haven't physically seen too many halves of basketball played as well on the offensive end as Wabash played us in the first half.
I remember looking up at the scoreboard. It was 15 minutes and 35 seconds on the clock left in this first half, and they've already scored 25 points. Yeah. And I was like, my goodness, if they keep this rate up, they're going to score 100 and a half on us.
Yeah. They just didn't miss. They literally didn't miss, and it wasn't so much as.
Well, it was good defense.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to help us out here and say that a lot of those shots were contested, were good contested shots, and they just knocked them down.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a guy that came out, and we really need him to play well, and I'm glad that it happened during this game. That's Chase Clark.
Chase Clark played 27 minutes, Coach, and had 1 turnover. And obviously he's one of our primary ball handlers, and that's great. Chase is getting that confidence. That's a great find by Chase right there. Good finish by E-Man. Chase is getting that confidence little by little. Little by little, he's getting that confidence back. Don started off a little rough, a little timid, and then he settled down. When the game went along, he settled down a little bit and played the way Don could play it. You know, again, like you just said, I think this is the first game. You know, Donald Overstreet's really played against great competition and physicality and bigger, stronger, faster guys. I mean, the guys he was guarding was, you know, 4 inches taller than him. Had some muscle on him, and it was a good experience for our guys early in part of the season. I will say, Coach, our guys never gave up. Never gave up an inch.
No.
They left everything out on the court right there, and that's a great move by Jay Lee. You know, they played with heart. They played with passion this game. And
it was actually surprising for as young a team as we have for us not to lay down.
Right.
And
right.
that really impressed me because we didn't know what was going to happen, Coach.
Right. Well, yeah, me and you, we talked about it before this game started. And
we knew the Wabash was going to make a run. I just didn't think they were going to make a run like they made. I mean, it was unbelievable. They just,
and
you know.
We could have easily, you know, died down right there when they jumped out, you know, whatever lead that was, 22-5 or whatnot. We could have easily laid down, but, Coach, we kept fighting back. We actually cut it to 7 points.
We talked before for the show here. There was a stretch, and you've seen a couple of them highlights where Jay Lee going to the rim. He literally dominated this game in certain streaks.
I remember.
And just did whatever he wanted to do offensively, got every rebound. But I mean that's the guy you didn't see on the highlights from Bethel a while ago.
Right. I remember getting the first half stats. I remember looking at Jay Lee's box score right there. He had 8 points and 8 rebounds. That's a great half for him.
Yeah, there he is again right there. Great set shot.
In rhythm. I think there was like maybe 9 seconds on the shot clock, and that's what we, you know, against these good teams right here. We want to slow the tempo down, work our offense.
Shooting early, unless it's a wide open shot with our best shooter,
right.
we probably don't want it like right there with Don.
Right, and like I said, you know, we after the first, I guess, 8 minutes of this ball game where they couldn't, I mean, they didn't miss. We settled down and we played even.
Yeah.
We played even with them. We were down by 17.
We actually played a little. If you take away that first 10, 13 minutes where they just couldn't miss and they were unconscious, well, I think we actually scored more than they did.
I agree. And then we came out in the second half with a determination.
Yeah.
We came out with a determination.
We knew we could play with them.
Yeah, yeah. You could just see the light bulb go off, the trust that they're having in themselves. I always say trust your coach. Trust your teammates and trust yourself. And, you know, we made a quick run. I think we started off with a 9-0 run to start the second half and cut it down to 7 or 9 points.
We talked before the game. There's E-man. Let's see what happens right here. Okay.
Moving the ball around.
Yeah. Good shot. I'm getting more confident. I love it. We talked before the game as far as if you're going to relax, and we tell them, you know, if you're going to relax on the offensive end. Don't relax on the defensive end. And by doing that, you're making them play the way we want to play, you know, offensively. We dictate what happens whenever we're playing offense. And if that means we want them to come late off screens anyways, Coach. So if you want to be a little tired, be tired waiting on coming off that screen.
Right.
And you know then we can get great shots instead of, like I say, rushed, you know, possibly contested shots. Great job, E-man.
And we didn't get any calls this game. I mean, which we knew that, you know, going in. When you're the away team and going
some
on
of them made me jump out of my seat. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you got any of them on here. Blake, it was a good shot by Blake.
That was a good shot by Blake.
Like I say, shots by Blake like that are in the rhythm early in the shot clock, and maybe Don. Okay, we can deal with that because they're such good shooters and.
Right.
But you know, most of the time we still even with Blake, we've talked about this. He's getting a little better at that. Even with Blake, we want him to let's swing that ball around our 4-out-1 in, and you know, let's get a shot in rhythm.
Yeah, get some movement. Work that defense a little bit. Our guys played scrappy, Coach. They really did. They played scrappy. They played with heart. That's when the light bulb came on for Donald.
Yeah.
Donald's second half right there. I still believe Nooney's doing a good job for us, doing his role, Coach. He's doing his role.
Who was that? Will Best.
Yeah, Will Best.
Forgot about that little shot right there. He pulled that. That was a shot. It went in, but well, that was contested.
Yeah.
I think we got lucky on that one. But Will's just a good shooter.
B had a streak here. He just played well for us. B did. B played with an outstanding amount of confidence. And look like that. We really don't want him taking that shot right there. But you know, he shot that thing with confidence right there and knocked it down.
He kept shooting pretty much until he missed. He gave himself a little heat check there at the end, and I remember saying, okay, all right, Ben, all right, we went on our hot streak. Now let's slow it back down and do what we do.
Right. And
Chase Clark did what he wanted to do against their point guards.
He did.
He really did.
He did. And, Wabash, just to let you all know, for the game, they shot 57% on the field, and on three-point, they shot 52%. I mean, they were just filling that thing up.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was good contested defense, most of the time. 24.
I can remember very few times where I had to yell and say something to somebody about not being. We were there. Right. We just, they're taller. Whenever they elevated, they're so athletic. It was like it wasn't even a contest.
Right.
By the time you're standing there, unless you jump, which we don't teach that.
Right. And I believe these guys are starting to trust us now about transition defense. Against these great teams like Wabash and who we're about to play against on Saturday against John A. We have to sprint back on defense right there.
Jay Lee should have come down with that one before. We would have had 2 already. That'd have been 4 points instead of 2.
We played our hearts out. We played our hearts out.
Said after the game, we wish, and I don't know if I would have thought I was ever going to say this coming into this game, but I wish we had these guys again. It'd be fun to play them again, and to know what they do. We didn't know anything about them.
Right.
We didn't know anything about their personnel, who was who. We tried to make some little adjustments at halftime, and like I say, if you take away that first part of the game, again, where they were literally unconscious and couldn't miss anything that was contested. We're right there with them.
Right. And guys, folks out there, if we play, the way we played against Wabash, against maybe a Bethel JV, we beat them by 40 or 50.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And we had a lot of people in the stands, even on the Wabash side, come up to us and tell us how hard our kids played and how much of a class act that our kids were and things like that. And as a coach, that's one of the best things to hear. Kind of forget the wins and losses. If my kids are out there playing hard with heart, and other people are realizing this in the class act, that's all I ask of our guys. And
right.
it was good to hear.
Winning's a byproduct of all the other little stuff that you do as an organization.
Right, and that's why I'm so excited about the next 2 weeks. It's going to be fun to see where we are.
Yeah,
it is
definitely. Whenever we come back, we're going to go ahead and close up with Coach Potts' final thoughts. You're watching West Kentucky Stars Basketball Weekly. Welcome back. Before Coach Potts closes up the show, I want to remind everybody out there, if you haven't already, go ahead and follow us at our Twitter account at WKCTC Hoops. Coach?
This coming up Saturday on November 8th, we have a home game against John A. Logan at 3 o'clock. Next Monday on November 10th, we have a home game against Earle Clements at 7 o'clock. Please go to Paducah2.org/basketball, all lowercase, to see any live games. Even if it was a previous game, you can go there and see that. And you can also go to Paducah2.org/starsweekly to see any of our coaches' shows. I want to give a quick shout out to Ken Dickerson and Justin Draffen for doing the commentating on our live broadcast. They do a great job for us.
Yes, they do.
Guys, come out and support us on Saturday and next Monday. Glad to see you there. Hope to see you next week.